Cheerio, bonjour. I have returned from 9 days in the Caribbean. Do you say Caribbean or Caribbean? I've actually always said Caribbean. And then I just went on a Royal Caribbean cruise, so that made it more. The cruise was fantastic. We had a spectacular time. I want to tell you this. The first morning I got up and I had 2 Bloody Marys, and I was walking back to my cabin, and I was going to lose those Bloody Marys, and I looked up and there was my room steward. I said, I'm going to vomit. And he handed me a bag. I did my business. I can't believe I'm telling you this. And I double bagged it, cleaned it up, and put it away. And then I saw him the next day, and I just smiled. On day 3, I said, man, thank you for handling that. And he said, thank you for not making a mess. And it was wonderful. His name was Edmund, and we left him a $50 tip. Okay, so our favorite luggage consultant. Oh my goodness. This chick, she almost has an insanity defense. So while I was away, I read a book about Kate Gosselin, The Things You Don't Know. And I mean, I've been making notes, so I'm going to go on a little Kate Gosselin rant in a while. But Sarah, pro se means you are now representing yourself. I spent honestly only about 6 minutes to see if Sarah has access to JAC funds anymore. And JAC is the acronym for the state who pay. Sarah has something to do with Jacksonville County. No, she's in Orange County. Okay, but that's who pays for when you have a public defender. They pay for the shrinks and your investigators and things like that. And for what I have seen, she has now lost access to all of that. She still can use anything from her previous 8 attorneys. 8. Now, the first one, Brian hired for her, and I've told you, what? Brian, what are we doing? Oh my goodness, I can't even, what? And Sarah still owes him money. So he did a few things that he's not willing to release to her until she pays her bill, and I have 0 issue with that. Okay, so here we go. Lift your feet up off the floor because it may be getting deep. And let me know if you understand that. Maybe I'm too old for you guys to understand that. Okay. Regarding Sarah Boone, blah, 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 case number. I mean, she's so obnoxious. Here's what she doesn't get. She's proving what a narcissist she is. That if she doesn't get her way, she'll find a way to get her way. She accused Judge Wooten of making millions off selling the tape that she made of George. I was speaking to my man tonight, and he just listens. He doesn't care one bit, but he's a really good man, and it's like, okay, yes. But I said, I'll show you the tape. I was all worked up, and he's like, I don't need to see it. It's horrific. That's the prosecution. They're talking about how many days they need for this case. I think the prosecution needs about 14 minutes. It's open and shut. Okay, here we go. Judge Kranick. So she's still referring to him as judge. No quotes here yet. Where's my discovery? Okay, I'm not trying to be rude, but we may have new people. Discovery is everything that goes along with your case. All the questions that were asked, everything goes back and forth. That is what discovery is. And please do not, I'm not trying to say that you're rudimentary, but we have new people all the time. Okay, where's my discovery? Right. Your discovery, bitch, is that you go into prison for 25 years. Okay, I'll stop. I am still waiting for you to provide me with the contents of what former Attorney Cashman supplied to you in the court at the surprised status hearing held in secret on June 28th at 1:30. Okay, Well, it wasn't held in secret. Sarah was there. We all watched it. Okay, but remember, she's so much smarter than all of us. My goodness. Maria, Sarah is smarter than your pinky toe. I don't know if that came out right. Anyway, okay. You know what I mean. Sarah's smarter. Okay. Your designated clock. No, she may have used you. No, she did not. I'm sorry. She didn't pull her thesaurus out for this one either. So, your designated clock of unfair judgment, that was in quotes, ticks empty and incessantly while waiting for you to deliver. Okay, so she is saying this to the man who is ultimately going to decide her sentence. Don't you get more bees with honey or something? Isn't that some little saying? Goodness. As usual, it's in your favor. I can't believe she and Brian were together for 9 years. Brian, how desperate were you? My goodness. Because this woman treated you the exact same way. Okay. I'm sorry. As usual, it's in your favor. In your nonchalant, relaxed, unconcerned attitude of me to receive, comma, you are robbing me of precious, comma, life-saving time to fully and properly defend myself. Hang on. Let's go back for it. Hang on. In your nonchalant, relaxed, unconcerned attitude of me, I'll skip a few words. You are robbing me of my life-saving time to fully and properly defend myself. Did she just not describe exactly what she did to George in that one sentence? Due to your nonchalant, relaxed, unconcerned attitude of me, which Sarah had a nonchalant, unconcerned attitude of George, she robbed him of life-saving time to fully and properly, rather than defend myself, but live. How stupid is this girl? Oh, don't forget, she had straight A's in high school 34 years ago. Well, shoot, it's been 38 years now, but she had straight A's in high school. She literally just wrote a sentence telling the judge he's robbing her of life-saving time, when that's exactly what she did. Oh my goodness. I had only glanced at this. I had probably read through this. I read through about page 3, and then I decided to just go blind at that point, because I'm a little funnier that way. But I didn't pick up on this the first time. Okay, let's find about her, back to her life-saving time. Oh my goodness. On top of my already and still being... Remember, she's really smart. On top of my already and still being violated constitutional rights and being forced, all caps, to represent myself based on false information. Okay, she hasn't lost any constitutional rights. Obviously, I am not an attorney. I'm a mere mailman. However, I am educated, and I did spend, this was months ago, 2 or 3 hours. I couldn't find anything that she's lost. It's funny how she has the exact same issue with every attorney, but it's not her fault. Okay. Oh my goodness. How did Brian stay with this woman for so long? Their son, which I won't say, I try not to say his name anymore. He doesn't want to talk to her any. Think about when this first started. It's been 4 years, 4.5, so it's probably not as fluent anymore. But his buddies at school were teasing the hell out of him. I mean, and she didn't understand. Okay, I need to be quiet. I'm sorry. Oh, Someone sent me a $99.99 super chat. Thank you. I did write your name down. It happened when I was on the ship. I will call you out the next time. Thank you. Someone has sent me a buy me a coffee recently. Bought me, I think, 4 or 5 coffees. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Back to our suitcase champion. This woman's nuts. You know what I think? She told the police that the suitcase, I've said this if you watch me, the suitcase was upstairs in the way back of our closet. Then the next day in the cop car, maybe that afternoon in the cop car, she told Chelsea, the worst interrogator ever, that she was hiding in the shower, and after 5 minutes George didn't find her and she was annoyed. So, pure speculation. She started screaming. He ran upstairs. For whatever reason, the suitcase popped into her head. She had him climb into it. She zipped him in the suitcase upstairs. And then she tossed him down the stairs. The one neighbor said they heard a noise from the upstairs to the downstairs. He said he heard it between 10:45 and 11. The other neighbor said he heard it from 11 to 11:15. Well, that's pretty accurate. Okay, I'll get back to our girl. I do not even know what is contained in said discovery after being withheld from seeing all to date. Okay, well, we know that's a lie, and I'll tell you in a minute. She's obviously very angry because her handwriting is all worked up. And for the first time in said surprise status hearing, along with my supposed digital evidence being produced by Cashman, finally, after never being shown any of it during her representation. Is that not the longest sentence you've ever heard? And here's the funny thing. She's not even done. She's still writing. So, for a woman who was so smart in high school 36 years ago or whatever, well, she didn't retain some of that. Her response to me and her, excuse me a moment, is Cashman. Sorry, I dropped my paper. It's quite windy here in Northern Virginia. Okay. Her response to me, where am I? Her response to me when I would ask to review was, quote, your first attorney said he reviewed with you, quote. That was over 4 years ago. You're my attorney now, and no, I did not. Okay, well, that doesn't even make any sense. And so I did read through this because I had to read this about 4 times. She starts talking about Cashman, and then she goes into first person talking to Cashman. So, great high school education. Shoot. Anyway. This is what I had to deal with. I have not seen its entirety and completely to date. That's exactly what it said. I have not seen in its entirety and completely to date. So that sentence doesn't make any sense. Now, I mean, you need common sense to understand what she's talking about, but this chick, but she has fans. Remember, she has fans. She has fans in South Korea. Okay, all caps. Please note. I'm telling you guys, you better note. I do not have access to a computer to view these materials. I am doing my very best to figure this and everything else out as I go in my newly unwanted, forced, caps, position of pro se. Well, the funny thing is, she writes the word pro se, and it almost looks like the word prose, which is words. So it could work both ways. She's her new position of prose or pro se. Please do not personalize me. Please do not. It's Penalize. Penalize. My bad. Please do not penalize me even greater than being already. I'm trying. Sarah, you lost the first attorney because Brian realized the $5,000 retainer wasn't going to go very far. And that's what Brian paid. You lost attorneys 2 and 3 because, and I do not remember which order, but both attorneys, public defenders, had represented either you or George in a case. You lost 3 through 8 all by yourself. She, in her last big letter, which I ended up not covering, everybody else covered it. I'm sure they're all covering this also, but she kept saying, I've lost these attorneys, not by choice. Okay, well, that's not true. In Bankowitz went in, you said, I don't want him to leave, and then 5 weeks later, you wrote your little motion, said, I want Bankowitz to leave. So right there. But you're not, here's the issue. She doesn't think she's wrong. It wasn't intentional. She did not set out to murder George, and so she doesn't believe she has any consequences. And the same example I use all the time. If you get drunk and you get in your car and you drive home and you kill someone, well, you didn't mean to kill someone, but you did. Look at Rebecca Grossman. She's the socialite, which I hate. So stupid. I'm a socialite. You're a socialite. I mean, what the hell? She's going to spend about 6 years in prison. She'll be out immediately. Her family has lots of connections. I think she was sentenced to 15 years, 2 15-year consecutives, but she will be out in 6 years. Her family will start donating a lot more to the Democrats than they already do. Okay. Oh, so we just talked about, she said she's not seeing things in her discovery. Well, Patricia Cashman, with 41 years of experience, she has a 64% win rate, so she's not a bad attorney, made the comment to the judge and said, she's been asking for her medical records. So I gave them to her, and sure enough, her handwritten notes are on her medical records. So she's seeing things and not remembering them. Okay, I'll go back. We already did the computer. Okay, please note, Sarah, you were warned many, many times that this may happen. Please note also, I am in an open bay dorm living with 63 other inmates. Yeah, that's got to be a bummer. Do all those women have their period together? I'm so sorry. I was in a sorority and I noticed we all started cycling together. I'm just curious. Probably a little stinky. I need to figure out how to view anything securely to avoid future, further exploitation and mean ignorance. Look at that. There is no privacy or individual access in jail. No, Sarah, you lose a lot of rights when you put someone in a suitcase, they beg for their life, and you do not let them out. You end up having a few consequences for that. See, that's the thing. Sarah had no consequences. She divorced Brian. She had a settlement. I don't really remember right now. I think she received $130,000 or $170,000, and then Brian was paying her over $2,000 a month. She was able to pay her rent and her utilities and support she and George with their wine and cigarettes on that money. So she still had no consequences. And, you know, she was a stay-at-home mom. Brian was paying for everything. And then he'd come home at 3 in the morning and she'd have strangers in the house. Okay, so don't think I messed up my pages, but this one just says and. The top. Okay, well that's definitely that. Well, I'm just going to 2, 3. Okay, well I'm just going to keep going. So maybe she forgot to capitalize her A in and. This is running long. I may do a 2-parter. And for the first time and said, surprise. Okay, no, I did read all that. Okay. Okay, I apologize. Okay, so now she just says, Cashman. She's not even referring to her as Ms. or Patricia, just Cashman. I'm glad I could help you shine in the courtroom in front of the judge by you professionally and finally bringing everything I've been asking for since day one, and after, all caps. I included you on my letter to the judge, ensuring return. She spelled ensuring wrong. Unlike you, who did not include me on your motion to withdraw. Quote, surprise, all caps. And I had to find out from someone else, an officer, 3 days before this surprise. Okay, well, this is true. And I'm not really sure why she didn't include Sarah, but I know that she didn't have to legally include Sarah, or she would have. So, Sarah's learning how to be an attorney now. She can learn a little bit more. So you would even know what to bring. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. She's talking about the hearing. Why didn't you bring to any of your... Oh, why didn't you bring to any of your... Okay, that's exactly what she said. 20 hours of meeting with me. Okay, so that sentence doesn't make sense. But when Cashman was speaking to the judge, she said, I have spent 20 hours, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, dealing on this case. Sarah just said 20 hours of meeting with me. Patricia Cashman didn't say that. She said in interviewing witnesses and things. So, Sarah, there's you once again making things up in your head. As always, it's in everyone else's favor but mine. You know what? Just like George. George was in everyone else's favor. Let me see. I have lots left. I guess I'll keep going. I don't really like videos this long. How much real time will I have to prepare and properly, especially, great English, the fact you have me doing everything while incarcerated? Sarah, he didn't have you doing everything. You chose to not get along with your attorneys. You chose to defy the evidence. What did you do? You videotaped him. And you made fun of him. My goodness. What happens when more time must be utilized to discover where my lost discovery is that I've been asking for repeatedly? Okay, well, I will say this. I'm not sure if it was Nate the lawyer, but someone did say that in Orange County, after a certain amount of time, they start putting everything onto disk. And so one whole, it's called a banker's box. That's what they put the evidence in. Can go down to just one disc. And I did hear someone say that they could be doing that. But, honey, what discovery are you looking for? Because you're going to lose. Okay. For depositions, 2, 10, care of my witnesses. What? Oh. Okay, she's looking for her lost discovery. To locate my witnesses, contact anyone via collect phone calls. That's a real hurdle. Well, if you were Charlie Adelson, your mommy and daddy would be putting money on your phone call. I almost feel badly about that because her parents are deceased. And, well, she's probably pretty glad they're not seeing this. Someone's paying for your stamps and stuff. I mean, I know Brian did have his alimony suspended until this court case is done. Okay. She has to wait to receive transcripts, any records, everything I need to finally build my defense. Or is your plan, Your Honor, to just leave me out to dry and in a hurricane? Sarah, sunshine, why'd you just... Think about the things she called the old guy who had the walker. He was in a car accident. I can't remember his name. She called him a buffoon. She said Cashman was snotty. She's something else about Hoffman. You think the person who's going to defend you, they want you to call them names? My goodness. She almost really needs an insanity defense. And my man asked me that legitimately, and I said, no, she doesn't have a chance. But, okay. She's new paragraph, new sentence. She didn't capitalize the Y. Your time constraints are extreme and unreasonable. Okay, hang on. Your time constraints are extreme and unreasonable. She's been in jail for 4.5 years, And in all of her other letters, she complains that she's been here 4 years and 4.5 years and nothing's happening. So which is it? Are they extreme and unreasonable, or have you been here too long? Oh my goodness. If not for double standards, Sarah Boone would have no standards at all. Your decision, you claim to have considered, with quotes, from your order is illogical and unfair. Specifically that it has been malformed by your ignorance, inexperience of my case, misinterpretations, straight lies from the attorneys appointed. Okay, so hang on, what did she just say? Your order is illogical. She also called him malformed. Okay, so this is the man who's going to decide how long. So she will be found guilty, and I believe she faces 25 to life. I'm not sure if he can reduce the 25 part, but she just called the man who's going to tell her how much time she has to spend in jail. She just called him malformed. She's very, very intelligent. She scored very well in high school. Oh my goodness. They are brazen to stand at your pulpit in your courtroom and commit perjury to your face in the world. His pulpit. But yet, it's me. Oh, I cannot wait. I apologize, this is running quite long. I'll try to speed it up. It is my belief, and from your order, that actions speak louder than words. The court is sabotaging me, forcing me, pressuring me, setting me up for failure. If any of the prior attorneys would have included, cared, collaborated during their time of representation, you not being brainwashed and partial from believing everyone over me, so he's, what did she call him? Malnormed or something. Now he's also brainwashed. And implementing your intricately misconstrued, unfair order formulated from, I would not be writing another letter, would I? How did this woman maintain a relationship with Brian for so long? She's a nut job. Really a nut job. Okay, ready? But in the meantime, it's its own little paragraph. I'm trying to speed it up. While your clock ticks ceaselessly and loud as I wait for you to deliver anything, even more fingers are noticed. They really do point back. And I am defending myself against your inaccurate, libelous... Okay, so now he's telling lies about her as well. I can write letters too. Order. Please, would you post my included document in your break room? Wherever you think it may be seen and understood, unlike me in your courtroom. Can you believe she just said this to the judge who's going to preside over the rest of her life? Would you please post this in the break room? This woman, that's why she zipped a man up in a suitcase. She's nuts. Would you ever say that to a judge? Oh my goodness. Or she wants him to put it in the break room. How about by the copy machine, where your JAs should have made me, the news crew, court TV, professional YouTubers, that's me because I'm getting paid now, and photographers, the world, a copy of the notice of hearing where all aforementioned improprieties occurred, and then some, including the drop-off of my case. I'm in disbelief. I am in disbelief. Materials said order being ordered and me being pulled by my uniform to exit your courtroom while still trying to speak and defend myself against all the mayhem and something. She's getting very upset. Especially the surprise of even being there unprepared and without notice. I told you guys, I cannot believe she just said that. I'm dumbfounded. She's telling him to put it by the copy machine. This woman has a screw loose. I mean, for real. Totally for real. Oh, wait. My posting, everything supposedly, is public record. And there is no notice at all. Another. It's in your favor moment. It's a group effort. Saboteurs. Okay, Sarah, Florida has the sunshine laws. It's the state that has the best sunshine laws in the world. And out of your 8 attorneys, I guarantee every single one of them has told you this. So, still playing ignorant. Okay. Surprise! You know what that reminds me of? Somebody did a LuLaRoe commercial, and it was, surprise, surprise, da-da-da-da, before your eyes, or something. Okay, I'm sorry, I sang. Okay. I shall return. Nothing is impossible. Believe. Hopeful, grateful, waiting. Thank you for posting. Sarah Boone, and I assume she has memorized her little ID number now. Remember, please, Judge Kranick, fair, neutral, impartial. You must be always. So she called him moronic, and that's not the word she used. She called him 4 insults, but you must be impartial, Judge. And then she put a little heart face. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians, 4:13. Yeah, I'm sure she's quite religious. Okay. And then, this is my thumbnail. She made an ad. So, this woman has all this time. She didn't have enough time to unzip George. Inmate seeks attorney. Honey, inmate lost an attorney 9 times. Looking for a prosperous challenge? Ready for your close-up on national television? Are you zealous with a side of keen? Show the world who you are with your original creativity, extraordinary expertise, confident ingenuity. Oh my goodness. I know how to say it. I'm sorry. Qualifications must include being trustworthy, honest, passion-driven, open-minded. Okay, unlike Sarah. Exceptional problem-solving skills. Well, again, unlike Sarah, because she could have solved the problem by unzipping the zipper. She even showed the cops. She said, I did this. She went all 3 ways. Okay. Client inclusion at all times. Team orientation, collaboration. Okay, well, she also did not do that to George. He was trying to be included, and she was not interested. Extreme efficiency in listening, communicating, understanding. She did not listen, communicate, or understand with George. So far, all of the qualifications she wants for her attorney, she cannot meet herself. Capability of excellence in representation. Committed. Okay, she sort of messed this one up. Maintaining faith in the client and case with the ability to think differently, overcome all circumstances. Okay, well, again, so all of her qualifications for her attorney, she does not have inherently herself. Epic opportunity awaits. Sarah Boone, and here's her number, 20005623, Orange County Correction Department. Invest in the oppressed. Believe. Oh my goodness, she's almost a better victim than Prince Harry's wife. I apologize for this running so long. Hook me up, hit like, hit subscribe, do all that nonsense. I love you guys. I'm going to talk about Kate Gosselin. If there's other things, though, please let me know. And if you're still watching right now, oh my goodness, I'm completely humbled, but I'm also shocked. God bless you. God bless this America.